Talk more now about the COVID situation in the country. We're joined by S. Arun Seshalan, Director, CCN, GVN Cancer Hospital, Trichy. Also, Dr. Shweta Gogia, Consultant ENT, Sir Gangaram Hospital. Thank you so much, doctors, for joining us this morning. And while we are going to discuss, several issues around COVID, the big worry right now is also the cases of mucormycosis that are being reported and the black fungus cases. And I just want to bring up this tweet by the Haryana Health Minister where he talks about how there were 413 cases of black fungus of patients, and he says that 64 never had corona, 79 were not diabetic, 110 had not taken steroids, and 213 were not on oxygen therapy. And we do know that a lot, when we talk about black fungus, we're talking about the link with diabetes and overuse of steroids, etc. Dr. Shweta, if you could, I know it's what a minister has said, but if you could just take us through this, how we need a proper study to really analyze why we're seeing so many cases.
Yes, that's true. I mean, there are so many cases which are being reported which never went to the hospital. There were so many cases who never took any oxygen supplementation. But most of the cases, yes, they took steroids, and probably the blood sugars went unmonitored. And most of these cases were presenting to us with features of mucormycosis. So yes, the research is definitely required to look into what actually triggered these cases. But I think the common factor in all the cases were the infection with the COVID-19 and the use of steroids. I think that was the common factor in most of the cases that we've seen. I would say 99% of the cases that we have seen at our center. So oxygen supplementation is not necessary in every patient, but most of the patients, yes, receive steroids, and most of the patients who develop features of mucormycosis, they had undetected diabetes or the sugar levels were dangerously high.
All right, Dr. Arun, if we could also talk about, the vaccination rate right now in the country is very, very low, and this is something a cause of a concern. It's been picking up in the last few days, but it's still nowhere near, the levels that many experts have said that we need. We need to be vaccinating at least 80 lakh a day if we're going to reach any sort of, proportion of coverage for our population, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. To come out of this pandemic, the only way is to achieve herd immunity. To achieve a herd immunity, you need at least 80% developing the antibodies. So to have an 80% developing an antibodies, you can do two ways. Either get an infection and lose so many people. You know that at least 2 to 3% we will lose every 100% getting COVID infection. The other way is to get vaccinated. So other way, without losing people, to get a herd immunity is vaccination. So only three things that is most important is vaccinate, vaccinate, vaccinate. The previous pandemic wave, we came out by telling three mantras, that is mask, hand hygiene, and social distancing. These are three mantras by which we overcame the first wave. The second wave, the only thing we have is vaccination. Okay, vaccine production is only not enough. Vaccination is the most important thing, and the present rate is too low for us. And definitely to prevent the third wave, we need to vaccinate more individuals. We need to reach that herd immunity just by vaccination.
Right, there have been a lot of questions also over, our numbers, our death numbers and COVID cases across the country. And Dr. Shweta, a lot of the, cases, especially in the rural areas, are not even being reported because, there's a lack of testing there as well. There's also a fear factor involved. So the real picture is something very different from what we currently know, and especially in the rural parts of the country.
I totally agree to that. Rural part of India is definitely the place where people don't know what's happening. And the testing, of course, is not adequate there considering the numbers that we have in the rural area of India. So the numbers could be, very dangerously high, and the picture could be really, really gruesome if we look into it. So I think, as was just mentioned, we have to really push vaccination into each and every part of India so that we can really control this number and we can prevent further damage to our country and to the population.
Right, Dr. Arun, a lot of the deaths also, there's talk of them being underreported because not every death due to COVID is being registered in a sense. Only deaths in hospitals, a lot of deaths taking place at home, a lot of deaths taking place due to other reasons as well, comorbidities, heart attacks. Those deaths have also gone up, and they're all in some manner connected to the COVID pandemic, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. That post-COVID syndrome, what we call, even after you becoming the RT-PCR negative after 14 days of infection, still there is a lot of other things that happens inside our bodies, which makes us more prone for increased mortality and morbidity. And we see more patients coming with heart attack, thromboembolism, cerebral venous thrombosis, and a lot of post-COVID syndromes we are seeing. And these deaths are more reported as non-COVID deaths, but in some way probably it is related to contracting COVID infection and post recovery, the changes that happen in our body. Yes, you are right.
And you have to keep alert even after recovering from COVID. You have to watch your health very, very closely.
Absolutely, absolutely. It requires a multidisciplinary approach. Even recovering from COVID infection, they need to continue their monitoring under their physician. They need to keep themselves monitored under a proper health care, actually. That is important.
Right. Also, when we coming back to the issue of mucormycosis, Dr. Shweta, now this is something I think a lot of awareness has been created, but we need even more awareness, especially to watch out for some of the early symptoms, because if we catch it early, it's something that can be, treated. But when it is too far along, that's when the real danger occurs.
Yes, that's very, very true. You have to recognize the early signs, because that is when we can actually, get hold of the disease and completely cure it. And once it has gone beyond certain boundaries, then it becomes very, very difficult to completely cure the patient, or we normally are not able to achieve that, that benchmark for the patient, which we can achieve if we can catch the patient early in the course of the disease. So anything which the patients, if they're having any features like pain on the face, numbness on the face, swelling around the eyes, redness in the eyes, or if they have pain in the teeth, they have difficulty in chewing food, or if they have some blockage in the nose which has been persisting for some time, or features like blood-stained discharge from the nose, or if they notice any discoloration on their palate or on their face. So these can be the early signs, but the earliest can be facial pain and numbness and redness around the eye, or they can also experience a double vision, or changes in their vision or blurring of vision, which can be a really early sign of mucormycosis.
And is the situation somewhat better in terms of the availability of the medicine to treat it? Because it's been a few weeks now of these cases, and we do know there was a shortage of that medicine. Has the situation become better?
No, I think the situation is pretty much the same. We are dealing with a lot of patients at our center, but we definitely are looking into a lot of shortage into the medicine. Actually, these cases, they require a higher dose, and we are not able to actually come up with that dose, though we are trying to, make the best use of the medicine which we are getting. But still, I think we can make things better for them.
All right, so that's a worry. So many weeks later, we still haven't managed to fix that shortage of this medicine, vital medicine to treat this. Dr. Arun, if you could tell us in Trichy around there, what is the situation like now? Is it more calm in terms of, patients being able to get beds, being able to access oxygen?
Things are more streamlined now, so more than it's better 2 weeks before how it was. Actually, I think Tamil Nadu is reaching its peak, and slowly, I think next 2 weeks we will start the plateauing, and the cases will fall down. When compared to how situation was 2 weeks before, now beds are slightly better. Getting oxygen beds and getting oxygen cylinders are better. But still, as previous doctor was quoting, getting amphotericin B is really difficult. Remdesivir is difficult, and particularly this mucormycosis, they require antifungals for prolonged time. For example, they will be requiring for almost 4 to 6 weeks. Every day we need to give injections, and particularly oncology center like us, where even before this COVID, we used to treat mucormycosis. We used to treat for the past 20 years. Lot of leukemia patients having mucormycosis. They will be requiring almost 2 months, 3 months of liposomal amphotericin B. Now these drugs are rationed out, but still with a lot of effort, we are still able to get it. Sometimes where amphotericin B is not available, we are trying to alternate it with posaconazole. But overall, the situation is slightly better than what we saw last week. That's what the situation is, and I think we have reached the peak. And next 2-3 weeks, we need to be very careful. And by the end of June, probably the cases will touch the baseline. That's what I personally think.
All right. Well, thank you so much, doctors, for joining us this morning on the channel. And it's very concerning that even now we're facing such a shortage for the treatment of the black fungus disease, and so many cases coming up across the country there. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you so much.